The Fundamentals of Skating, brought to you by How To Hockey and sponsored by HockeyShot.com.
Hey guys, it's Jeremy from HowToHockey.com. In this video we're going to be talking about edges. A good skater will have good control of their edges. I'm not going to get too scientific about it, but basically what you need to know is that each blade has two edges, an inside edge and an outside edge. If you guys want to learn more about that, you can check it out online. There's all kinds of good information, but I want to talk about the game situation when you're going to be using your edges. So let's get right to it. During a game, you're going to be using your edges all the time. The main times we're going to be using your edges is accelerating, turning, and stopping. Your edges should always be working for you and not against you. So I'm just going to give you a few quick examples of how you can get your edges to work for you and a few times where they might be working against you. Help you guys become better skaters. The three main areas where you're going to use your edges when you're skating is when you're accelerating, so you want to turn your feet so you can actually use your blades for a good push, right? Next one is when you're turning, you want to use your outside edge here, inside edge here, and turn. You kind of want to stagger your steps. So if you're turning left, you lead with your left foot. Turning right, you're going to lead with your right foot, and you can use both those edges in a nice, sharp, tight turn. The third way you're going to use your edges a lot in hockey is when you're stopping. So you've got the 2-foot stop where you're using your inside edge and outside edge. You got the 1-foot stop where you need to change direction quickly, not quite as fast. And another one is when you really pound with the outside edge of this back foot, and you want to change directions really quickly. One of the main problems that I see with newer hockey players is what I call spinning your tires. You always see it when they're trying to accelerate. Their feet are going really fast, but they're not actually going anywhere. So if you take a look at my skates, show you what I'm talking about. Basically, you're not using your edges. You're trying to skate. You're basically running on the ice. So in this situation, your feet are moving fast, but you're not using your edges. What you want to do, turn your feet so you can dig in those edges and use them to help you accelerate. Now one push is going to get me going, right? Now as I keep going, I'm going to push behind me, and you want to keep on always using your edges. As you get more speed, you're going to push out more to the sides. You can think about using your edges when you're accelerating as kind of like gears on a bicycle. So you're going to start by pushing more behind you. You want to turn your feet, and as you get more speed, you're going to be pushing more and more to the side. When you're at full speed, you're almost pushing directly to the side, and that's going to keep you increasing in speed as you go. Another problem some hockey players might have when they're skating is their edges working against them. So when you're skating, you have a glide leg and a push leg. So this push leg, you should be using your edges, but you should not be using your edges on your glide leg. I'll show you what I mean. If I push here, you want this foot pointed directly forwards so that you can get maximum glide off it. Then I recover and I push with this leg and have this one pointing forwards. But some skaters push here and this leg goes out to the side. And they push here and this leg goes out to the side. So their edges are actually working against them when they're pushing, and they're not going in a perfectly straight line. So work on always having this foot, your glide leg, pointing straight forwards and not off to an angle. Otherwise you're doing more work than you have to. Now that you guys know more about your edges and how you're going to be using them, I'm going to give you a few drills that you can use to help improve your control of your edges.
First drill is a figure 8 drill. So this is good to use if you only have a small portion of the ice and you want to work on your edges. So what you're doing is only using one skate at a time and only using the inside edge of that skate. So you're leaning to the inside, holding that inside edge of that skate, and then once you complete a loop, then you push and go in the other direction, doing a figure 8. There's another figure 8 drill, except you're only using the outside edge. So you can see I'm leaning to my outside, and this is more of a crossover. So try to keep a good knee bend in both of these, just at least a little bit of a knee bend to get that power and continue that motion and momentum as you go around in the figure 8. So this one is similar to the figure 8, except you're going down the ice. So in this one, I'm only using one leg, keeping a good knee bend so I can get a push each time, and only using my inside edge. And eventually what you want to be able to do is push, hold the edge until you see one side of the boards, then push, hold the edge until you see the other end of the boards. This one is the inside edge drill, but you're going backwards now. So this is really good for defensemen, feeling that control and where your weight should be positioned over your skates to turn and make those pivots. This one is the outside edge drill, but going down the ice. So instead of in the figure 8, you're just holding your outside edge, working on moving your legs or doing the crossover with your legs. Still want a bit of a knee bend and try to hold that outside edge as long as you can. Now we have the outside edge drill going backwards, so also known as the scissor skate. You can work on just doing it slowly and just stepping over and landing on the outside edge of both skates. Once you get a little bit better, you can try to see how fast you can get your feet crossing over. This last drill is really good to work on shifting your weight and your control and balance. So you're working on just using one foot and switching between your inside edge and your outside edge. And you're going to use your opposite leg just to pump to keep that momentum going down the ice.
Thanks a lot for watching the video. Don't forget I have a whole series on skating, so if you want to learn more about getting better at stopping, turning, or balance, check out the other videos in this series. Don't forget, these videos are brought to you by hockeyshot.com. They have the best hockey training aids out there, stuff like nets, targets, shooting pads, training tiles, slide boards, all kinds of products to help you guys improve your skills. If you want to check out their products, I have the link in the video description.